The agreed amount, as promised. We expect safe passage.
We will hold up our end of the bargain.
Put your hands up, let's go!
The video opens with a powerful and unsettling truth. Everyone is already walking on a path, even if they don't realize it. There is no neutral ground, no spiritual middle zone, no safe place where someone can stand still. From the very first second, the viewer is confronted with the reality that every single day, every decision, every habit, every desire is shaping their eternal direction. The screen shows symbolic imagery of two roads, one bright, narrow, elevated, leading toward divine light and eternal life. The other wide, loud, crowded, glowing with seductive promises, leading into darkness and spiritual ruin. The narrator explains that heaven and hell are not accidents. They are consequences, not punishments out of nowhere, not surprises that happen at death, but the natural outcome of the choices a person makes while living. We reveal that the most attractive path, the one filled with pleasure, excitement, entertainment, pleasure, ego, and instant gratification, never presents itself as dangerous. It begins beautifully. It seduces. It reassures. It tells you, there is time. Do it later. Nothing bad will happen. It hides its cost until it is too late. And that is exactly why so many walk into destruction without realizing they ever made a choice. As the scenes shift, the narrator reminds the audience that this video itself may be the last call, the last warning God places in front of someone who keeps postponing the most important decision of their life. This idea becomes visual. The camera moves through scenes of everyday life. People partying, people chasing money, people distracted, people drowning in routine, and over each moment hangs the silent question, which path are you taking? The video then transitions to the origins of human choice. The narrator recalls the beginning, when God placed before humanity two trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It was a moment of pure freedom. God was not creating puppets. He wanted sons and daughters capable of love, capable of choosing him. And because love must be chosen, freedom must exist. With freedom comes risk, and God accepted that risk out of love. Then the scene highlights Jesus' warning. Enter through the narrow gate. The narrow gate is difficult. It requires discipline, sacrifice, self-control, and renunciation. But each step, even when difficult, is filled with God's grace. The narrow road leads to life, and God walks it with those who choose it. In contrast, the broad road appears comfortable, exciting, filled with distractions and pleasures. But behind its glow lies destruction. It is the road where people wander aimlessly, thinking they have time, thinking they can decide later. The narrator says that the great deception is believing that there is always more time, that the decision can be postponed indefinitely. But the enemy wants exactly that. Delay, procrastination, indifference, not rebellion, just postponing. The video shows how spiritual confusion happens. Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. That means not everything that shines is from God. Not every miracle is divine. Not every blessing is real. Without discernment, people follow what feels good, not what is true. And this leads them off the narrow road without noticing. Then comes the quiet, gentle voice of Jesus. Here I am. I stand at the door and knock. Jesus is not shouting. He is not forcing. He is waiting. He is offering life, transformation, mercy, forgiveness, and companionship. He waits for the heart to open. He waits for the decision no one else can make. The video places the viewer directly in front of the urgency of the moment. If the viewer is alive, if they are breathing, it means God is still giving them time. But that time will not last forever. Heaven has not closed its doors. Grace is still available. Compassion still surrounds the sinner. But a choice must be made. The narrator reveals the sobering truth. If you refuse to choose, the choice chooses you. If you ignore God, you are still choosing. If you delay, you are still choosing. If you follow the broad road without thinking, you are still choosing. And the consequences are eternal. Finally, the what culminates with God's own words. Choose life so that you and your children may live. It is not about religion. It is not about rules. It is about redemption, salvation, and learning to trust God enough to walk the narrow road today, not tomorrow. The video ends the what section with one final strike. The decision you postpone today may be the one you lose forever tomorrow. The reason this message matters is simple. No one walks through life without choosing a direction. Every attitude, every desire, every compromise, every "I'll think about it later" pushes your soul closer, either to eternal life or to destruction. You are already on one of the two paths, even if you don't realize it. The world is full of illusions that make the wrong path look safe, beautiful, or harmless. It promises freedom, but delivers chains. It promises pleasure, but hides the consequences. It promises time, but time is the one thing no one controls. That is why this video exists, because the most dangerous lie of the enemy is not, "There is no God." It is, "You still have time." This message matters because spiritual neutrality does not exist. Every moment, your heart is moving, softening toward God or hardening against Him. Every decision shapes your eternity, intentionally or unintentionally. This video is a warning because the broad path never announces itself. It begins with comfort, ease, pleasure, and distraction. It pulls you one step at a time until your soul is numb, until you no longer hear the voice of the one who knocks gently, never forcing, always calling. God has given humanity the power to choose. He gave it in Eden. He gives it now. He respects human freedom so deeply that He allows people to reject Him, yet He still pursues them with love. This video matters because the door of grace is still open, but it will not stay open forever. Because the spiritual war that surrounds your life is real, even if invisible. Because not everything that shines comes from God. Because deception looks beautiful before it destroys. Above all, this message matters because the cross was not an invitation to religion. It was an invitation to redemption, to life, to transformation. And Jesus is still calling today. This is not about fear. This is about clarity, about waking up before it's too late, about recognizing the voice that calls you home. Your eternity is shaped by the choices you make now. And the decision you keep postponing might be the one you lose tomorrow.